good morning, friends. I have something very exciting to talk to you about in today's video. There is something that I have been wanting for many years. It was something that my mother had, and I remember it as a child. And unfortunately, this particular item was destroyed in a fire. And ever since I was an adult, I have wanted one of these, but we've just never either had the room in our house, or couldn't find one, or if we would find one, they were really expensive. Well, a couple of days ago, I get notifications on my Facebook for things in Marketplace, and this particular item that I've been wanting for years popped up, and it was an excellent price, and I was able to get it. I'm so excited. Let me turn the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. It is what they call a Hoosier cabinet. It's a Hoosier cabinet because these were made exclusively in Indiana, and if you are from Indiana, you are a Hoosier. They were built back in the 1920s and 30s. In the mid-30s, they stopped producing them because there was no more demand for them. The reason why these were very popular in the 20s and 30s is because in that time period, they did not have kitchen cabinets. Kitchens were built without cabinets. So the housewives needed storage. And these Hoosier cabinets were perfect for storage. They had tons of drawers. Now, they were built in many different styles and many different sizes. This one is a bit on the smaller side, which is perfectly fine. But in my memory as a child, this was the size of the one that my mother had. And I know my mother's was white and red. I don't think it had red knobs, but that's another thing I can't really remember. This top drawer is made out of porcelain. It's steel with a porcelain coating, and it slides out. So this would be a workstation where the housewives would prepare food, make bread, all kinds of things, and then they could slide it back in. I can't do this with one hand, I don't think. There we go. They would slide it back in so that it would be out of the way. This drawer here is a metal drawer. I tried to do some research on why it would be a metal drawer, and I really couldn't find a whole lot of information about it. I don't know if this maybe would be where they would store bread and the metal would keep mice out of it. I'm not really sure, but this drawer is made out of metal. The rest of the drawers are made out of wood. This area here actually had a roll top door, and this cabinet came with a roll top door, but it is in pieces. So Scott and I are going to work on it to repair it and install it back in. All of the pieces are there, it just needs to be put back together. So there's a roll top door. I'll show you those pieces in a minute here. And then the latches here were needing to be replaced. So Scott took the latches off of the doors, and he's going to repair those and replace those. And over here is what was called a flour sifter. You would pull it out and pour your flour in the top, and then scoot it back in, and then you would put a shallow bowl or a measuring cup underneath of it, turn this crank, and it would sift the flour into your measuring cup, so that while you were making bread, you could do it right here. And they would use these for storage of all kinds of things. Down here is a nice deep cabinet where they could store pots and pans. They would store dishes underneath this roll top part here, or sometimes some of these would come with spice racks, built-in spice racks. This particular model didn't have that. And they also would come with a canister set. Now, I don't know if this particular model came with a canister set or not. I'm going to be doing some research on Hoosier cabinet canister sets, and if I ever find any when I'm out thrifting, I will buy them for sure. This cabinet is in really, really good condition. There is some distressing of the paint, but you know, that does not bother me at all. Now I can't get this closed. Oh, I had the handle sticking out, that's why it wouldn't close. The distressing on it does not bother me at all. This cabinet is either 90 or 100 years old, so condition issues are going to be a part of it. Down at the bottom, there's a black piece that's in pretty rough shape. I can't decide if I'm going to repaint that or not. I mean, if I repaint it, it would look nice, but I don't know. It's not so bad that I couldn't leave it and it just be authentic to the piece. Now, there is a couple of things that we are going to be replacing on this. This side piece is in rough shape. The veneer has been peeled off, and there's really no way to fix that and make it look decent without completely replacing the side panel. When we were, this thing came apart in 3 pieces. That's how Scott was able to get it home. The top piece comes off, the shelf comes off, and then there's the bottom piece. So when we had it all apart, we noticed that sometime in the past, someone has replaced this side. That is just dirt down there. I can clean that. So at first I said, no, I don't want you to replace that because, you know, this is original to the cabinet. But then when we discovered that the other side had been replaced, I thought, you know, go ahead and replace it. That way it will look nice. I'm going to take one of the drawers to Lowe's and have them paint match it. And then I can, you know, color match the paint, and then I can paint the side to match. I'm not repainting anything else on the cabinet. I like the rustic, aged look of it. I mean, it's an old cabinet, so I like that. I'm not going to repaint anything else on it. I'm not going to replace the knobs because I like how they match the trim of the shelf. And the bottom, the inside bottom, Scott said was in pretty rough shape too, so he's going to replace that when he replaces the side. And I don't mind that if he replaces the bottom because you can't see it anyway, and if that increases the life of this piece, I'm perfectly happy with that. This video, I was hoping that I could get this cabinet in place today and you know, cleaned and in place today, but I think this is going to be a weekend project, and this video will span a few days of us getting this wonderful piece of history back together and in place in my kitchen, and I'm so excited for it. I just still can't even believe that I actually own a Hoosier cabinet. I've been wanting one for years, and I just feel so blessed that we found this, and I only paid $250 for it. These I have seen on Marketplace in the thousands of dollars, and I have seen some that are in horrible, horrible condition that they're asking $250 for. So it was a very, very fair price, and I'm so excited to have this in my home and in my collection of vintage things. And this is a memory. This evokes memories of my childhood looking at this cabinet, and I'm so happy. This is the roll top part of that empty cabinet area, and whoever took it apart, thankfully they numbered the pieces, This is the bottom piece, and they're all numbered. So I put them in order. Now I'm gonna flip them over and I'm gonna inspect them and clean them. Scott didn't know if I was wanting to repaint it. I do not. I want to do as little repainting on this project as I possibly can because I want it to stay in its original condition. Got them washed and they're upside down, as you can see, and I have them in order, and it looks like what was holding them together was long strips of canvas type material. I'm sure I have something in my stash that will work. Now the only problem is like I said, I wasn't planning on painting this because overall it's in pretty good condition. Except whoever took this apart, this one slat right here, slat number 12, they stripped all the paint off of it. So now I'm not sure what to do, whether I should still paint it or not. It's going to need to be painted before we put it back together. And I'm going to have to go to town and get paint. So I'm going to have to think about that for a minute. I wish they hadn't have done that. I'm planning on having it not rolled down anyway. I'm just gonna have it rolled up. So you won't be able to see that slat. So I might just not paint it. I've been messaging back and forth with Scott, and he said to go ahead and put this unpainted one at the very top because then it won't show at all. Even if I have the door rolled down, this one probably won't show. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna save and put this bottom piece on last because it doesn't wanna lay flat. I'll have to pull it to like the edge of the table because of the handles. So I'll put that on last. I'll just leave some material sticking out. I'm not going to take the old pieces off. I'm just going to reposition the new pieces of fabric. And what I ended up finding, which I think is going to work perfect, is this double fold bias tape. It's pretty much exactly the right width and it's the right thickness. And so I went ahead and just put marks where I'm going to place the new pieces. I actually marked the bottom piece, so I'm gonna have to mark them again, the first piece here. And then I'm gonna use a combination of E6000 and hot glue to glue those straps on. Sorry for the noise, Edna. Olivia washed the windows for me. She did a great job. Now I'm just going to wipe everything down, scrub it down, and try to get all of this old contact paper off. I'm not going to put any of the new contact paper back on until all of the repairs have been made and it's put back together. that got replaced because it was in really bad shape. Scott replaced the panel, and then you saw in that clip Olivia painted it. And what I did was I took one of the drawers to Lowe's with me, and they color matched it, and I got some of this Volspar high gloss paint plus primer, and I think they did a fantastic job matching it. And then we ended up putting a piece of trim down at the bottom. We did that trim yesterday, and then you saw me painting the other piece of trim. It goes over on the other side of the cabinet, and I'm gonna probably have to have Olivia help me with that because I can't get down on the floor and I have terrible eyes. So I'm gonna be using a combination of E6000 and hot glue, and we're just gonna glue that piece of trim on there. The paint is dry, and as soon as my hot glue gun gets heated up, we will get that piece of trim put down on this side of the cabinet, and this remodel will be done. Let me give you the after tour of my kitchen after rearranging things. As you saw, I don't know what clips I have, but I think in the other clips I had the microwave over here. But after using it a couple of times, I realized with this cabinet above, it was not convenient at all. So I moved it over here. I think there was a clip of me cleaning this counter off. I can't remember. This might all be redundant because I can't remember my clips. It was a long weekend and we were busy. So anyway, I completely moved everything off of there, and then I put the microwave in, and I made this one little shelving unit. It fit back in there perfectly. I was so happy. I left my knives over here at both sets because I do use all these knives, believe it or not. On a busy day with a lot of cooking, I use a lot of these knives, so I wanted to leave both sets out. And then I've got my little utensil holder there for tiny spatulas and reusable straws, and then that utensil holder has all my serving spoons in it. And then my little Pioneer Woman dish or salt saver. I think they're salt savers. I'm not sure. My little fingertip bowls that I use quite often are in that little basket. And then the microwave has been working out really, really good right here. It's really close to the sink, so if there's any spills in it, you're able to clean it. And I myself have been very happy with it over here on this counter. Family, of course, complained about it at first, but I think they're starting to get used to it too. And then over here on this little counter, I had to do a little rearranging here as well because I didn't have a place for this big utensil holder, and I use those utensils every single day when I'm cooking, so I want them by the stove. And then this has got my lighters and my meat thermometers in it, so I needed that easily accessible. I did leave my tea kettle here. So it's not really a tea station anymore, which is fine. It's just a really, really very small countertop, so there's not a whole lot of use for it, and this works out really great. So then on my island, you will see when I show you the finished Hoosier cabinet, I was able to take a lot of the clutter off of my counters and able to utilize that Hoosier cabinet for not just looks but for storage, and it is so nice. I've never had this much workspace on my counter before because I've got such a small kitchen and I didn't have room for everything. So over here I just have the items that I use quite often. my smoothie straws, my hemp seed, a 2-cup measure, or 4-cup measure, I mean. That's my monk fruit treats and tea bags, stevia packets, and so it's just very user-friendly and sleek and streamlined, I should say. And I think this spot and that spot look so much less cluttered. I just absolutely love it. So now, what you all have been waiting for, let me show you the final reveal of my beautiful Hoosier cabinet. Ta-da! Here it is. I am in love with it so much. I just love it so much. Let me take you up closer and I'll show you everything that's on it and in it. I won't show you everything that's in the drawers because that would get boring and you saw me put the stuff in it. So I just basically took everything that was in those wicker baskets in my other microwave cart and put them in these drawers. I will show you what's in the bottom 2 cabinets though. So the Hoosier cabinet is considerably taller than my other microwave cart that I had here. So we had to move this shelf up, and because we had to move it up, my picture of Bing would no longer fit on that shelf. Pretty much everything else is up there that was up there before, except that I did add those 2 mother of pearl brass swan candle holders there. I added those. You've seen those in a prior haul. On top of the hutch, I have this. It's a fake plant that I had in a different area in my home, and I kind of shopped my home for that, and I just love it up there. I love the wicker and the greenery. This little arrangement was on my other cart, and I love that there, and so is that. And then of course my picture of Bing, well, it's actually a sheet music, being framed, and this little brass candle, those were up on the top on that shelf originally too, and I moved them down here. Now inside my cabinet, I was able to put all of my Pioneer Woman dishes that were either on my counter or in other cabinets. Not all of my dishes. I do have like some jadeite looking, but I just wanted all of my really colorful Pioneer Woman in this cabinet. So that's what I did. You can see the flour sifter, that is original to the piece. I do have some other things in here that are not Pioneer Woman, like that's my microwave cleaner thing, if you've ever seen this. Angry Mama, I think it's called. You put vinegar and water in it, put it in your microwave, and so I just wanted this out of sight, but where I could utilize it. I've got these little air fresheners in here because I could tell that at some point in time in this cabinet's life, it was a home with smokers, and so I found a trick is to find air fresheners, put them in, and by the time this is all dried up, the smoke smell will be gone. I did clean these out real good too, so that helps. But then these ramekins were in my one of my cabinets. Now they're down here, and now I have more space in my cabinet for other things. These were on the counter. These were on the counter, my cream and sugar. These bowls were in a cabinet. Now one of these bowls unfortunately got broke a few months back. I'm really sad about that. My measuring cups, I don't use these often, but they were in a different cabinet. I was able to combine these in here. I took my Pioneer Woman mugs out of my mug cabinet, so now I have a little bit more space in my mug cabinet. And then these 2 canisters were on my counter. There's actually a set of 3, and the third one you saw is still on my counter because it has my hemp seed in it, and I use my hemp seed all the time, so I wanted it on the counter. And then these are my bone dishes that I got thrifting not too long ago. I do want to continue collecting these. Oh, these dogs. But they're relatively hard to find, so whenever I find some that are in good shape, I will pick those up when I'm thrifting. And then on this bottom shelf, I have my my seed sprouting kit. I haven't seed sprouted in a while since Sally passed away. Things have just been crazy, but I do want to get back to that, and I will store it in here when I'm not using it. But when I'm using it, Well, actually I could store it in here even when I'm using it, because it, you know, can be out of direct sunlight. So this might be, although it might need some airflow, plus with that air freshener in here. So no, when I'm using it, I'll pull it out and on the counter and then put it back when I'm not using it. So that's what's in there. Then down in here, you can see I put 2 of my little bread boxes. These don't actually hold bread. This one holds kind of like snacks, and then this one's got my extra bulbs for my wax melts burners and a few random wax melts in there. Then this is the roll top door that Scott and I fixed. It works. I did not film us putting that in. It was quite challenging, but I did film me gluing the slats back together, but we were able to get that installed, and I'm so happy. Most of the time I will probably have it up, but I can pull it down. And that's what it looks like down, which I can do that if I want a more clean, sleek look. I'm very happy with that. Scott was really proud of that job because we'd never done anything like that before, and we're so happy and pleased that it turned out. It was, like I said, it was challenging to get that door back in there. It was challenging, but it's got a name. I can never remember the name of those doors. If I can remember it, I will put it on the screen, but they're not really called roll top, not in this Hoosier cabinet anyway. I can't remember. I saw it online. I was looking up how to install them, and that's when I saw the name of them, but I can't remember now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, there's that. I just remembered what the name of this door is. It's called a tambour door. So, yeah, a tambour door. I keep trying to remember like tambourine, but I can't make that connection in my brain. I have to do these word games in my head sometimes to remember things, and I haven't quite got that word memorized. But anyway, tambour door. Then right here on the porcelain countertop, I just have our fruit bowl, our cookie jar, which are both utilitarian. We use those, and then a little bit of decorative piece. This was on my old microwave cart, and then that picture that I painted at a women's event at our church. Now then, like I said, these drawers, just this one holds peanut butter and sandwich bags and stuff like that. This is just basically junk drawer. This is dog stuff. This drawer is exclusively dog stuff, dog medicine, animal syringes, things like that. And then down here, Scott replaced the floor in it because it was in really rough shape, and we did want to actually be able to use this cabinet, so he replaced it. And then back in there, I've got my Instant Pot, my rice cooker. You can see I have another one of those air fresheners, my rolling pin. This is just some extra shelf liner. I didn't need as much as I bought, so I'm probably return that to Walmart. I don't know though, because that's kind of a pain returning stuff. Then I've got extra drinks down here, and then my Tupperware that has marshmallows and crackers and things like that. I keep them in Tupperware because once in a while we have a mouse, so I want to keep the mice out of it. And then some matches and another one of those air fresheners. I don't think I need 2 air fresheners in here, but they're in there. I probably will not replace them once they're all dried up because I think the smoke smell will be gone. But I am super excited about this cabinet. I have wanted one of these for so long, and I never thought I would actually ever get one because I think I told you at the beginning, these things are normally priced way out. of my price range. So I am just pleased to death. This is like a dream come true for me to have this piece of my history come back to life. It's not exactly like the one my mother had, at least in my memory. I can't remember, but it's very, very, very close. I do remember that it was a cream color and it had the red trim, and it was about this size. It might have been a little bit bigger, the one my mom had, but I don't know. I was a little kid. Everything seems bigger when you're a little kid. But I just have such fond memories of it, and I'm so thankful, so thankful to have one like it in my home to treasure and to pass down to probably my daughter. So anyway, before I end this video, there is one other thing I want to show you, another update that we have done in our home. Here it is. Thank you all so much for your comments and your advice and your opinions when I asked you whether I should get this rug or not. A few of you said it was probably not a great idea. You just voiced the same concerns that I had about it, and we just decided, Scott and I decided that it's worth the money to give it a shot, being that our dogs are housebroken and they're not prone to throwing up. Now, if we do get a puppy in the future, we can just roll this carpet up, put it down in the basement, and bring it out when the new puppy is housebroken. So that's the beauty of having just an area rug. I think it looks, getting into his toys. I picked all his toys up so I could film this part of the video. I just think it makes the room look really cozy. I really love it, and it's comfortable, and Edna has been able to keep the dog hair off of it with no problem whatsoever. If you are new to my channel, Edna is my robot, and I absolutely love it. Oliver loves it too. He loves to lay on it, and so far Percy has not chewed on it. He put his mouth on it a couple of times, but he got sprayed with water when he did that, and so he hasn't done it again. And anyway, I absolutely love it. Thank you all so much for your input, and sometimes it's really hard for me to make decisions. I get like decision paralysis, especially when it's something that, you know, $100 bucks is a lot of money. It's not like exorbitant amount of money, but you know, it's not chump change either, and so it was kind of hard for me to make that decision to spend the money on this. But like I said, so far we all love it, and I think it's so pretty. I love the gray tones, and I love the brown, and like the tan. It's very cozy. The tan matches the tan in my baskets, and I just love it. All right, friends, this is where I'm going to go ahead and end this video. It's a bit of a different video. I don't do these project videos too terribly often. We don't usually have big projects to work on, but like I said, I'm thrilled to death. I'm thrilled to death with my rug, and I am super thrilled to death with my Hoosier cabinet and how much more space I have in my kitchen now. And it's just been a great last few days. My rug came early. We were able to get that Hoosier cabinet, and I'm just so excited about it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye, friends. And this is what it looks like normally with the dog beds on it and my dogs on it.